Algeria will take their place on football's grandest stage for the first time in 24 years, after they secured qualification for South Africa 2010 in unprecedented fashion. In round 2 of qualifying, Algeria finished top of Group 6 despite losing 2 of their 6 games. Defeats against Senegal and Gambia didn't prove costly, as Algeria finished a point ahead of Gambia to progress to the final round of qualifying. There they were drawn against Zambia, Rwanda and fierce rivals Egypt. Rwanda provided the opposition in Algeria's first game in Group C. That finished goalless, but 3 points were won in the next match against Egypt. 3-1 the final score. A 2-0 win in Zambia and a 1-0 home success in the return fixture meant Algeria had taken 10 points from 12 and were yet to concede a goal. A 3-1 victory against Rwanda gave Algeria a 3-point lead over Egypt, ahead of the crucial meeting between the two in the final group game away in Cairo. Only a 2-goal margin of victory would deny Algeria top spot and qualification, and Egypt achieved it. The hosts took the lead through Amir Zaki just 2 minutes in, but despite peppering the Algeria goal, couldn't double the advantage. That was until the 5th minute of stoppage time, when substitute Emad Motib headed in. It meant a playoff was necessary between the two sides who had finished dead level in the group. Both had a record of 4 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat, and Algeria's 3-1 win when the sides had met earlier in the group meant their head-to-head record was identical. There has long been ill feeling between Algeria and Egypt, and this was intensified after an attack on the Algerian team coach which saw 3 players sustain facial cuts before Egypt's 2-0 win. A capacity crowd filled the Khartoum stadium with 5,000 more outside. In the end, Algeria triumphed by a 1-0 to reach South Africa. The winner coming from Antar Yahya 6 minutes before the break. Algeria were through to the finals for the first time since 1986, and it sparked scenes of jubilation. After confirming their place in South Africa in such dramatic fashion, Algeria will be desperate to get past the group stages at the World Cup for the first time.
Argentina's road to World Cup 2010 has been a controversial one, to say the least. A managerial change failed to remedy inconsistent results that very nearly ended in missing out on an automatic ticket to South Africa. The two-time champions will be at the World Cup finals though, and the tournament will be all the more prestigious for it. Their rollercoaster ride to the first ever World Cup to be held on African soil began with Alfio Basile at the helm back in October 2007. A year later, Basile was to be out of a job. Just 4 wins from the opening 9 matches was considered far from good enough, and the veteran coach was under immense pressure going into the tie against Chile, an opponent that Argentina had not lost to in 35 years. That was soon to change though. With playmaker Juan Román Riquelme missing, Argentina failed to find an answer to this Fabián Orellana goal. A 1-0 defeat, and Basile's resignation would follow soon afterwards. So with the experienced man leaving the bench, cue the arrival of one without any previous top-level coaching experience. However, Diego Armando Maradona is no ordinary novice. The former Argentine number 10 is still regarded as a hero in his homeland. Maradona, however, failed to address the Argentine side's inconsistency. A glorious 4-0 win in his first qualifier was forgotten when his side suffered a repeat of the heaviest defeat in its long history. Not since 1958 had Argentina been beaten 6-1. Bolivia were the team to repeat the feat in April 2009.
And the humiliation of Argentina is exactly what it is.
Argentina got back to winning ways with a 1-0 success over Colombia. But were again beaten on the road. Ecuador their conquerors on this occasion. Those results left them hanging on to the 4th and final automatic qualification spot with 4 games left to play. But with Brazil up next, things were about to get even worse. And it wasn't long before the home crowd was disappointed in Rosario. Brazilian defender Luisao opening the scoring midway through the first half. Luis Fabiano added to Brazil's advantage 7 minutes later. Jesus Datolo briefly gave the Argentines a chance when he pulled back a goal in the 65th minute. But the momentum was quickly surrendered when Luis Fabiano made it 3-1, and in doing so put the game beyond Argentina. The awful run continued. Not only did Argentina fail to win for the 7th straight match on the road, they were beaten by Paraguay and pushed out of the automatic qualification spots. A rain-soaked evening at Buenos Aires' Estadio Monumental was the setting for the start of the Late Late Show from Argentina. However, it was to go right down to the wire. Maradona's first half nerves were calm just 3 minutes after the restart, when Gonzalo Higuain broke the deadlock. Argentina failed to finish off the match and were made to pay when Hernán Figo equalised in the middle of a tempestuous storm. 2 minutes into injury time, though, veteran forward Martín Palermo, recalled to the national squad only days earlier for the first time in 10 years, poked the ball home and secured a vital 2-1 win. Cue ecstasy on the Argentine bench, Maradona celebrating as if he'd just won the World Cup itself. Despite that victory, Argentina weren't home and dry yet. Their final match was against neighbours Uruguay, a place and a single point behind them in the table. The winner would take the automatic spot to South Africa. The match in Montevideo understandably turned out to be one of the most tense and tight affairs of qualification. That issue of automatic qualification, though, was eventually settled when substitute Mario Bolatti scored just 6 minutes from time and sent Argentina to South Africa. After all the drama and excitement, Argentina took 4th place, 4 points in front of Uruguay. Uruguay themselves were forced to take on Costa Rica in a playoff. The Maradona show continues on to South Africa then, and with the former World Cup winner at the helm, expect anything and everything to happen as the hand of God looks to lift his country's 3rd World Cup.